We begin this hour with a look at how the world rang in the first day of 2026. One of the first cities to welcome in the new year was Auckland, New Zealand. The famous Sky Tower there lighting up with pyrotechnics to signal the start of the new year around the world. And then less than 2 hours later, an impressive display in Sydney, Australia. Fireworks lighting up the famous Opera House in Sydney Harbour. In Dubai, drones in the sky, lighting up a countdown to the new year with this breathtaking display on the city's iconic skyscraper, along with impressive fireworks and a water show. And across the pond in London, 100,000 people braved the freezing temperatures and gathered along the River Thames to hear Big Ben strike midnight, starting a light show right above the London Eye. And here in New York, nearly 1 million people from all over the world packed into Times Square to ring in the new year and watch the ball drop. This year, revelers were treated to a second celebration just 4 minutes after midnight. And it wasn't just fireworks last night. Zohran Mamdani is officially the new mayor of New York City. New York Attorney General Letitia James swore in Mamdani at the Old City Hall subway station. NBC News correspondent Emily Ikeda is in Times Square with a look at those celebrations and more. Emily, good morning.
Hey there, we're talking about a snowy start to 2026. It was just a few hours ago that Times Square was packed with some 1 million revelers and thousands of pounds of confetti to ring in 2026. The snow complicating some of those cleanup efforts that you can see underway just behind me. So many families have braved the frigid temperatures to watch the ball drop at midnight before a massive crowd and music and fun. So many people looking up to watch that brand new 12,000-pound constellation ball, which had a fun second act. Just minutes later, it lit up in red, white, and blue in honor of America's 250th birthday. The celebrations had continued across the country and around the world. In Seattle, fireworks lit up the sky around the Space Needle through a foggy night. Australia was one of the first to celebrate the new year with fireworks lighting up the sky near its famed Sydney Harbour. In Egypt, it was the Giza pyramids that were the focal point, with more fireworks there. And in Paris, revelers looking up in awe at the Arc de Triomphe. Now, those celebrations will continue today with the Rose Parade in Pasadena, which is expected to see its first downpour in something like 20 years, still persisting nonetheless. Hey, I mean, flowers, they like a little precipitation, right? Happy New Year. Back to you.
Thanks, Emily. Ikeda, thanks so much. We've got some breaking news to bring you out of Europe this morning. Dozens of people are presumed dead after a fire ripped through a crowded bar in Switzerland. It happened overnight during a New Year's celebration at a luxury ski resort. The cause of the fire still needs to be determined, but police say they have ruled out an attack. NBC News correspondent Danielle Hamamdjian has the very latest.
Well, this is still very much a developing story, and we are learning more by the hour. What happened exactly in this popular bar in the southwestern Swiss city of Crans-Montana, a popular bar called Le Constellation. Authorities are saying dozens are feared dead, though we don't yet have an official number. 100 or so are injured, and the vast majority, officials say, have suffered serious injuries. Now, the cause of the fire is still unknown, though for now, authorities do not believe this was a case of arson. They say this was an accident. Whether pyrotechnics had anything to do with it is still unclear. It is a popular bar amongst young people who would have come here to watch sporting events, despite this being in an upscale ski resort. And it is a confined space, so you can just imagine what the scene would have been like as the fire broke out and people would have been trying to escape. There is going to be an extensive identification process given the severity of the injuries. There would have been lots of tourists, of course. Just on the other side of the nearest borders, you've got France and Italy. Lots of people, of course, on their Christmas holidays. There were so many injured that local hospitals were overwhelmed. Many had to be taken to other hospitals across the country in Lausanne, Zurich, Geneva. At the scene right now are forensic investigators who are trying to piece together the events of last night that led to this tragedy as people were ringing in the new year.
Danielle, thank you. Let's get a check on the forecast for the rest of the week now with your Morning News Now weather. Meteorologist Stephanie Olmo joins us now. Stephanie, good morning and Happy New Year.
All right, guys, good morning and Happy New Year. We're starting up the new year with more lake effect snow that is impacting the upper Midwest and the Northeast. We have some pretty intense snow bands that are setting up across the area here, especially in upstate New York. So the cold winds will continue. Temperatures will continue to plummet as we go over some of the snow bands and just how much snow we'll likely get. This will continue into tomorrow with some scattered snow showers continuing up into New England. So let's talk more about snow and which areas will see the highest total. So it's looking like just north of Syracuse, you could pick up about 1 to 2 feet of snow, locally higher amounts through the weekend. Just south of there, you see right around Bradford, you could pick up about 3 to 6 inches of snow around your way. Meanwhile, out in the west, we're tracking yet again more rain. We have another storm moving in early this morning. This is pretty much bringing soggy conditions around the Los Angeles area. I know we have the Rose Parade later on this morning, so it's going to put a damper to that. But by this afternoon, we'll start to see some scattered activity across the region here. And eventually, we'll start to see some breaks even as we head into Friday. But around Northern California, around the Great Basin, we're still looking at some moisture out your way with snow up in the Sierra. So what are we talking about in terms of rainfall totals across California? So it's looking like a lot of areas, especially around inland spots, around the valleys, we could pick up about 1 to 3 inches of rain. We could see locally higher amounts, especially in the foothills and mountains. And we're not done yet because we head into the weekend. I'm talking about more storms, more back-to-back storms impacting the region, unfortunately. Meanwhile, all right, let's talk about the temperatures. I know it's pretty chilly up in the upper Midwest and the Northeast. You notice quite the contrast. Temperatures at 33 in Charleston, later on in the afternoon, 21 in Chicago. Meanwhile, out ahead of it, we're talking about warm temperatures in the 70s in places like Houston. All right, back to you.
There are new developments this morning in the Epstein files investigation. A source tells NBC News there are now more than 5 million documents for the Justice Department to review, and that is way more than we previously knew. This comes as a new report is shedding light on an incident where President Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has the latest.
The Deputy Attorney General says DOJ lawyers are working around the clock, even on New Year's, to review the Epstein files before they're released. The Justice Department is scrambling to review roughly 5.2 million documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, according to a source familiar with the operation. That's a number much higher than previously known. Two sources familiar with the plan tell NBC News the DOJ is trying to enlist about 400 employees for the effort, which is expected to run until January 20th. That's a month after the deadline set by a bipartisan law Congress passed to release all Epstein files. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche posting required redactions to protect victims take time, but they will not stop these materials from being released. The DOJ has already publicly released tens of thousands of documents. President Trump, who's never been accused of wrongdoing related to Epstein, has long said he cut off contact with his one-time friend in the early 2000s.
He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again, and I threw him out of the place, persona non grata.
Now, the Wall Street Journal, citing former Mar-a-Lago and Epstein employees, is reporting on an incident it says led Trump to ban Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago spa. According to the Journal, in 2003, an 18-year-old beautician returned to the club from a house call to Epstein and reported to managers that he had pressured her for sex. When a manager sent a fax to Trump relaying the allegations, the Journal writes, Trump told the manager it was a good letter and said to kick him out. Police and former employees told the Journal the incident was not reported to Palm Beach police. The White House calling the reporting fallacies and innuendo, adding no matter how many times this story is told and retold, the truth remains. President Trump did nothing wrong, and he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep. Last week, the Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, introduced a resolution that would direct the Senate to initiate legal action against the DOJ for not releasing the full Epstein files by the deadline. Congress is set to be back in session next week.
Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. Well, now that we're starting a new chapter in 2026, there are a number of laws that kick in with the new year that you'll want to keep an eye on. Starting today, state laws will take effect around the country on several issues, from the use of AI to paid family and medical leave. Let's dive right into all of it with NBC News correspondent Marquise Francis. Marquise, good morning and Happy New Year. Great to have you. Let's chat about the new laws with artificial intelligence. 38 states passed legislation last year to deal with the rise of AI. The states are attempting to tackle issues like the use of deep fakes in elections, for example. So what are the states doing, and how tough will it be for them to get their arms around this?
Yeah, Jess, right now we know that AI is kind of the wild, wild west across industries because there is no federal regulations around it. And so states are doing what they can to really rein it in. For instance, in California, they passed legislation that now prevents both AI developers and businesses from actually giving the impression that they're giving people medical advice when they're chatting with these chat boxes. In Montana and South Dakota, they now require disclosure when using deepfakes in elections. Of course, all of this is really to help people make more informed decisions, but it also comes at a time when President Trump just last year signed an executive order that makes it harder for these states to kind of put together these piecemeal legislation in lieu of federal regulations, but Congress has been unable to come together, and so that's why states are stepping up.
Let's talk about voting now. There were 37 bills passed across 20 states to restrict voting access in elections last year. That's according to the Voting Rights Lab, a nonprofit that tracks voting-related legislation. So with the midterms on the schedule this year, how might that affect the way that the elections are carried out?
Jess, a big, big year. Both Kansas and North Dakota passed legislation that actually removes the grace period for mail-in ballots postmarked by Election Day. Previously, as long as your ballot was postmarked by Election Day, it could still count. And then you also have 8 states that are making it harder to vote. They're actually restricting or eliminating alternatives to photo ID for the proof of registration. And of course, while these numbers may not be eye-popping when it comes to the specific numbers of the people that this is affecting, when it comes to some of these closer races in some of these tighter areas and districts, this could have a big, big impact.
Also want to talk about the new laws in paid family and medical leave. Huge topic for the last couple of years, actually. Maine, Delaware, and Minnesota will be the latest states to provide those benefits in 2026. How will these new policies be different from the federal laws that are already in place? And are states doing anything to help with the Obamacare premiums that we are seeing expire as of last night?
Right. 2 huge topics, right? So when it comes to paid family or medical leave, these new policies actually give people some relief. Right now, federal regulations allow people to have 12 weeks unpaid off. These new policies give them some paid time off, and it actually helps, obviously, people who need it when they're just having a child or they need that medical. I do want to note the U.S. is the only developed country that does not have a federal mandate when it comes to paid family time off or something happens to you, you get hurt. When it comes to those Obamacare subsidies, we know because they expired, healthcare is going up for all of the country. In some cases, it's going to be double or triple. And there are states trying to step up. For instance, Colorado, they injected $100 million to try to soften the blow, but it's not covering it all. And of course, that's going to be a big, big deal when it comes to 2026 midterms. People care about where their money is going in healthcare, rising costs. It's a big deal, Jess.
Every single mother knows all about that all too well. Marquise Francis, great to have you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks so much. For many of us, a new year means trying to make a fresh start. And what better way to kickstart 2026 than with a new resolution, right? Maybe you want to get in better shape, improve your relationships, or go after that promotion. Reporter Andrew Rowan from our NBC affiliate in Hartford, Connecticut, asked people about their plans for the new year and talked to an expert about how to make those resolutions stick.
31%. That's how many Americans are going to make a 2026 New Year's resolution. So we asked people, tell NBC, what are your resolutions?
I think that's good. And by the way, this is more than a fun TV story. This doctor says it actually helps to share it with people.
Having someone to help hold you accountable and not keeping it a secret is helpful.
My New Year's resolution is to finish publishing my book.
Take more time for myself.
To get better at playing my cello.
Drink more water, eat more vegetables.
Run more.
Just definitely get back in the gym.
That is the most popular one, with 25% of Americans resolving to exercise more.
My New Year's resolution is to not get in any fights with my friends.
Be present and put down our phones.
To be more present with my family.
To be better than I was last year.
Eat less, exercise more, and try not to forget my resolution by the end of January.
Was that last year's?
This is every year.
For those recurring resolutions, Quinnipiac's Dr. Tracy Marquise Edeman says,
My recommendation to patients is always to think of things in baby steps. Any kind of movement is a great resolution.
Go to the pool every day.
To journal every day for 30 minutes in the morning.
To become a big actress.
Some advice for these loftier resolutions: think about a trend.
That was not my best day, but tomorrow is a new day, and I'm gonna try this again.
Hey, how about you? Some of us are still thinking, while others are set.
Reading books.
Health and tight family, and I'm about to be a grandmother. Yay!
I'm gonna turn 3.
As everyone puts their best foot forward in 2026.
Happy New Year!
Some great ideas there. Thanks to Andrew Rowan for that report.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.